Hey, youth group families, it's PJ. So today we got word on the return of school. Doesn't sound like we're going back until April 24th. And I know that's a bummer for a lot of you. It's also a bummer for your parents. And just as crazy as you guys are going, your parents are also going crazy too. But I don't want to dwell on that. I want to jump back to a song that we were doing on our cyber youth group on Sunday. We played the song Waymaker by Christian Stanfield, and I'll link that into this video in the comments for you to listen to later if you want. But in that song, it names God. It gives God some names, and it calls him the Waymaker, miracle worker, a promise keeper, and a light in the darkness. And those names are powerful. Those names have meaning. And the very first one there, Waymaker, I want to talk to you about that for a sec. That comes from Isaiah 43, and God is reminding the people of Israel who he is, what he has done. And he's saying here that in verse 16 and following, he's saying here that, remember, I am the one that brought you out of Egypt. I am the one that created a path in the wilderness. I am the one that parted the sea for you to go through. And I am the one that destroyed the army that was chasing you. And then he says this in verse 19. He says, see, I am doing a new thing, right? I am doing a new thing. This is something new, right? He says, I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland, right? The wilderness is something that doesn't have paths through it. And a wasteland is something that doesn't have life in it. But God is saying, I'm changing things. I am doing things new here, right? I'm going to make something different, and I'm not going to leave things the same. And so I want you to think about God as a waymaker while you're going through these times right now. What is it that he is making this way for you? What way is it that he's making? Where is he leading? Where is he guiding? How are things changing in your life and in your situations in ways that can better you and that can glorify God, right? Because that's what he's going to be doing. He's going to take whatever situation that you're in, and he's going to change it, and he's going to turn it upside down, and he's going to use it in some way, and it will glorify him, right? If you find the way to allow it to happen, if you can figure out how to take whatever's going on and maybe not focus in on my sports are canceled for this week, or whatever it is that you're looking forward to and you can't get to do, right? How do you spin that? How do you change that around and figure out what God is capable of doing with your lack that's going to be greater than what you had, right? I know for some of us, that the way that is being made very well may just be that we have to be silent and still for a little bit. We are very busy. We are not used to being still. And God tells us to be still, right? He tells us, in fact, one of the earlier things God tells us as a people to do is to take a day off. Keep the Sabbath holy, right? Not just to think and meditate on him and what he has done in our lives, but to just rest, right? And yet we have a very hard time resting. We don't do that very well, and we're in some ways we're forced to do that. In Psalm 46, verse 10, God tells us, "Be still and know that I am God." Right? He doesn't say, go run around and do all of your errands and put an extra 8 hours of work in on your day off, and don't forget that I'm God while you're doing all of this stuff. He says, no. Be still and know that I am God, right? And so there's something with that. There's something about slowing down and stopping and thinking and just being able to sit in the quiet and know that God's there with you. Right? So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about how you can be still, and put God first, and try to figure out what God is doing in your life right now that this situation is maybe allowing for, is causing you to allow to happen. So we're going to catch up on Sunday again with another cyber youth group, and until then, take care. Love you guys.